Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jesse Both from the 19th hole. I've got the Silver State Tournament Pro playthrough here for you all. These are holes 1 through 9. We'll talk about the ways I played these holes with the elevation changes, club and ball selection, and we'll see if we can help you all out on a pretty good way to start your tournament. Hopefully you all can use this information to help improve your round. So we're going to start out with hole number 1 here, par 4. Off the tee box, we're going to be playing with our extra mile to the left-hand side at a 10%, a plus 10% elevation change. I will be using the katana ball here, as I will be using a lot of katana balls in this round and some kingmakers as well. You know, I think it is important to use good balls when you're playing in these tournaments because you do want to give yourself the best chance to shoot the lowest score possible. So for this shot here, to the left-hand side, we're going to be using top spin and right spin. We're going to use about 4.5 bars of top spin here. I think that's going to put us in a good location for our second shot. You can definitely look at playing to the right-hand side if you have a driver with a lot of top spin and you're willing to use a higher level power ball as well. But I think playing to the left side can be a very consistent way to play this hole, and definitely a way that we can dial in this shot. So we're going to make our adjustment here for the wind, plus 10% with 5.9 wind. I'm not going to use any curl here on this shot. We're just going to try to hit it perfect, which we do. And this one's going to come in very nicely. As you see, it bounces over and it's going to roll up the fairway. So the farther up and left you get, the more straight tailwind you have on this hole. So it's a good thing to be up and to the left on this fairway. So for our second shot here with the thorn, you could also use a hornet if you decided to. We're playing a plus 10% elevation, and we're playing the shot up there around max club. It's a little bit below max club, so you kind of have to eyeball that mid max, and then if it's not exactly max, then you have to kind of guesstimate at the club percentage. So we're going with a little bit of backspin here, lining this one just about straight up at the hole. We are trying to find a nice consistent bounce spot there on the fairway. So we're going to make our adjustment here now for the wind, a plus 10%. And we're just going to try to hit this one perfect. Hopefully, if we hit it perfect, we have our shot lined up correctly, and we drop it in the hole. Nice bounce, looks nice, looks good. And we snuck it in that left-hand edge. So, you know, about 2 bars of backspin, aim it a few squares short of the hole, and just go right at it is the best way to play that hole. Hole number 2 here is par 3. We'll be playing this one with our sniper. You know, you could use a kingmaker or a katana ball on this hole. You definitely want to have that extra side spin. So at, you know, the very least, you'd want to use a katana. Kingmaker, though, you know, would hopefully take that wind down a little bit extra. So we're going to go 3.5 top, max left spin. We're going to put the edge of our red ring right there along the edge of the bunker as a good spot to line up our shot. As you see, the ball guide's coming down to the right side of the hole, so we're going to have to use curl on this shot to try to direct that shot a little bit farther to the left and change its trajectory a little bit. So I like the 3.5. I think 3.5 gives us a really nice roll. And I went plus 30% here for this shot. I use a little bit of curl, but as you're going to see, we're going to end up just a little bit to the right side of the hole. So we could have used maybe about another quarter ball of curl on that shot. Definitely still work in progress, but definitely a great starting point right there to work on dialing it in for the week to come. Hole number 3, our first par 5. This hole right here, they take really away the ability to go, well, in the pro you could probably go to the right if you have higher level clubs, but I still think playing to the left is the more safe and smart way to play the hole. Now if you do have higher level clubs and you do want to play to the right side with like a power 4, power 5 ball, and you can make that shot, then definitely go for it. It will set you up better. I like the shot to the left. We make our adjustment, we push back up. We use top spin and right spin on this shot. Plus 10% for the elevation change off the tee box. And you've really got to decide, are you going to play your shot to land in front of the tree or past the tree? I think in the pro, most of the time you'll find people landing in front of the tree. You just want to make sure you don't land behind the tree. So, all right, next shot here is with our sniper. We play this one at a plus 5%, and we're going to use a little bit of backspin and a little bit of right spin to straighten out that ball guide to the hole. And we want to play this shot, just a little bit offset in front and to the right of the hole to allow for that rollout and then also that wind push. We made our adjustment here for the wind, plus 5%. And as you see, it's going to come in pretty nicely, actually. And it had just a little bit extra on it. And, if you wanted to go between 2 and 3 backspin, that may definitely be a good idea. I went with 2, but maybe a little bit more would be something good to try. All right, hole 4 here is next. We're going with right around 3 bars of backspin, maybe a little bit just under 3 bars of backspin, and about 1 bar of right spin here on this shot. We're playing this one plus 10%. If you're playing with a different club, it'd be plus 10%. But with the sniper, we're playing at 1-to-1, and then you're going to add an additional 0.2 onto the total. So this one we went 6.5. Although I kind of feel like I went a little bit more than 6.5 on that adjustment. I think I accidentally pulled it just a hair extra. And as you're going to see, it comes in really nicely, and it would definitely seem like I did pull a little bit extra, as we ended up just off the right-hand edge of the cup, which suggests an over pull. So not bad right there, 1-to-1. Then you add an additional 0.2 onto that 1-to-1. So whatever the wind is, plus 0.2. Hole number 5 is next. We're going to be playing our shot with the big topper straight up the middle here. And we're going to be using a Power 3 Titan ball. I use the Titan ball to give me a little bit extra power. And that wind is more kind of like a tailwind, so that's actually helpful as well. So we adjust here. We're going to adjust and overpower to have our ball located on the island, and then we're going to draw back for our adjustment, which then ends up taking us back out of overpower. So all we have to do is hit this one perfect. Full top spin, 1 right spin, big topper, roll it through to the fairway, just like that. The goal is to land on the middle to the top left edge, top left quadrant of that island. That's where you can get the best bounce, just because of the way that island is sloped. If you land it in other areas of that island, more than likely your shot will not make it through the rough. So you want to aim, from the mid to the mid upper left area of that island for the bounce. This shot right here, it's pretty much a straight tailwind shot. I aimed it right there at the right edge of the hole, and as you see, we hit great left, and we were still able to sink it with a little bit of a toilet bowl roll right there. So there's the eagle on that hole. And hole number 6 is next, and we're going to be playing hole number 6 up the middle, and then also I'll play a shot to the left-hand side so you can see how both ways are played. And I'm pretty sure we play up the middle first. No matter which way we play, you used to play with a plus 10% elevation change off the tee box. Alright, so katana ball, big topper is the way we're going to play this one. Full top spin, and then whatever left spin that you can use without actually subtracting top spin from your ball. Yellow ring on the edge of the rough line, and then you're going to adjust at plus 10% max adjustment with the big topper, which is right at 2 rings with this wind. We're going to use just about a little bit over a half a ball of curl to the left. We did hit great to the right, and you're going to see that this ball is still great proofed. Using that curl definitely does help great proof that shot. So for our second shot here with our sniper, we're playing this one at plus 10%. On the adjustment, you want to land your shot into the ridge of this rough section. If you land it too far back, then you can possibly get a bad skip or a rollout on your ball. So you want to land it into the ridge like you see there. Just about 1 bar of backspin on the adjustment here. You want to find if you're at the min, mid, or max adjustment for your club, and then you will make your wind adjustment from there. We do hit great left, unfortunately, but you're going to see a nice bounce off that hill and then a roll up there. Perfect speed and 1 grid to the left of the hole. So perfect shot. Would have been really close right there for that albatross. All right, so we're going to play the shot now to the left. I personally believe that your best chance at the albatross here is playing it up the middle, like I showed in the first example. But I do know some people aren't comfortable playing with that shot up the middle, so you can play the shot to the left as well. Extra mile and the sniper for your second shot. And I don't know, I almost believe that this shot is just as tough, if not maybe tougher, than that shot up the middle with the big topper. Because I mean, if you don't have a higher level extra mile, a higher level driver, then you may have to actually overpower this shot somewhat. So plus 10%, we're going to adjust for our wind. We're going to push back up. We'll top spin and right spin on this shot. I wouldn't do more than 5.5 bars of topspin on this shot. I think that's plenty. And as you can see, we're going to get a nice roll up the fairway. And we'll be set up for our second shot with our sniper. So for our second shot with our sniper, we're going to find our distance. That's min right there. So we're going to put our shot up to the min, then we find our mid right there. So I always take my take shot button and I place it right at my min, then I go find my mid, then my max, and then it's really easy to find the mid from that point. Alright, so we're going to play this shot here with some backspin and left spin. It's just a very odd bounce off this rough area. The slope just kind of makes this a very awkward bounce, really tough to dial in. For another reason, that's why I say it's better to play up the middle. Now, we get a nice bounce. If I had been maybe a half of a square farther up that slope, we would have had a much better result, I think. We landed back just a tad bit, which means I over-adjusted my shot just a little bit there. Alright, hole number 7 is next. We're going to be playing this one with the, we've got the navigator in here. For this hole, we're playing with a sniper. We're playing at mid plus 10%. If you had a power 3 ball in, it would be 1-to-1. But with a navigator ball, it's not 1-to-1. It's a little bit less. So we're going to go 4.5 backspin. We're going to aim our shot at the left-hand edge of the hole here. As you can see, the yellow ring is just a little bit off of being on the edge of the rough/fringe line. Now we're going to make our adjustment back here. It was a plus 10%, but definitely make sure to take into account that it's a power 1 ball. So it was a little bit under 1-to-1 adjustment. Nice bounce and roll, and we sink it. Dead center of the cup, so definitely happy about that. Alright, so we got hole number 8 here next. This is a par 4. We'll be using our extra mile and then hopefully our thorn for our second shot. You can use a hornet. For the elevation on the first shot, we'll go with plus 10%. I'll be using a kingmaker here on this hole. So top spin and left spin. I like to go with 5 top spin and then max left spin on the shot. You will need to pull your shot into overpower and then adjust back for the wind. And then as you can see, at that adjustment I need to use a little bit of overpower. We're going to go with a full ball of curl. If you don't have a full ball of curl, just use what you can use for sure. and we hit the rough and we roll out. Even with the great ball to the right, we still roll out onto the fairway. So if you don't have a driver with that much curl, then you may want to cheat your shot a little bit farther to the up left edge of that fairway. So for the second shot here, playing plus 10%, and we're going to play with a couple bars of backspin. I like to land my shot on that fringe. I feel like that's the most consistent bounce spot for this hole. And we're just going to line the shot up with the hole here. With a stiff left to right wind, the only mistake I make on this hole is not factoring in a little bit extra push for the wind. We played this one straight up at plus 10%, and we made a great shot, but you're going to see it come in just to the right of the hole, and we did not factor in a little bit extra for that wind push. So, if you just want to play your shot and then add a little bit extra onto it, or if you just want to offset it to the left side of the hole to begin with, that will work as well. Alright, last and final hole, hole number 9. And I'm going to play this one 2 different ways for you. I'm going to play this one first. I'm going to play this one time trying to get to the green, or to that fairway section in front of the green, and then we'll play it again more of the conservative method. So it looks like we're playing the conservative method first. So this would be an extra mile, and then the big dog, and just the kingmaker. So we just want to line this shot up. We're going to push our shot into overpower here. And we're going to push back up 2 rings here to land our shot where we wanted to. So when we push our shot into overpower, we noticed that 2 rings into overpower was the preferred landing zone. So we just make our adjustment, and then we push back up those extra 2 rings. Topspin, full topspin, and then some right spin. You see it puts us at 383, which is not a bad spot. So for our second shot here with our big dog, we will not have to worry about any kind of an overpower shot as long as we are playing for the safe short iron shot to finish out this hole. So we're going to go with 3 topspin, max right spin. I would suggest to dial that back down to about 2.5 topspin. And I have my orange ring right there at the edge of the rough line. We're going to make our adjustment here for our wind. Play that one at plus 10%. And it's going to be nice. It's going to bounce in here. And as you see, we rolled up a little bit farther than we would have liked to with 3 topspin. So that's why I say to tone that back down to 2.5 topspin and just be safe. There's no reason to get aggressive on that shot. So for this next shot here, I'm playing with the Thorn. It is important to have a ball with side spin, because without the side spin, you will not be able to straighten your ball guide up and give this a really good look at the hole. You see we're needing 4 bars of side spin here for this shot. So you want your second bounce to hit on the fairway area in between the rough and the fringe, and then that third bounce to be about midway between the fringe line and the hole. We did make a mistake there, and we adjusted our shot at kind of a slight angle, and that's going to cost us here the ending eagle for sure. If we had not adjusted that shot at the angle accidentally, that one would have fallen. Alright, so this time we're going to play it with the big topper and the berserker ball with the big dog. And we'll see if we can help you all out kind of figure out this shot as well if you do want to try to play it this way. So big topper here and a berserker is going to allow you to play this shot without overpower. You have 8 wind, so we're just going to play the wind to our advantage and let this shot go with the wind. So you see I'm 1, 2, 3, about 3 rings into overpower there. So we're not really going to have to use much of, if any, overpower on this shot. And we're just going to let those 8 miles per hour of wind do the work. I put a little bit of right curl on this shot, just in case I hit a great left. Then I don't risk rolling into that rough that you see to the left. And the drive is plus 10%. So for the second shot here is also plus 10%, although, you know, we're just going to be hitting over full topspin and left spin and really trying to overpower this shot right here. Now we want to look at our wind. We want to take into account where our shot will land with the wind, which is going to be right about up in there. So we are going to use a good amount of overpower and left curl. Actually, we don't use a lot of overpower here. And we do hit it perfect. The mistake I make is I don't use enough curl on this shot. As you see, we have plenty of roll for the shot. We just did not have enough curl on the shot. But you still end up with a nice chance at the eagle. It's a close bunker shot, so all you got to do is hit it perfect. So, alright, y'all, appreciate y'all being with me here for the pro playthrough. Hopefully you learned a thing or two in this playthrough. We didn't get a ton of drops, but I think we did lay down a solid foundation on how you can play these holes, and hopefully you all can dial these shots in and be able to have some success here in this tournament. I will be adding timestamps to the description just in case you do want to come back in the future and look at one of these holes, like a particular hole, and not have to watch and sift through the whole video again. So thank you all for being here. Hope you all have a good day, and God bless. Definitely check us out at Golf Clash the 19th Hole on Facebook. Hit that thumbs up if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, and also set up those notifications so that you can be reminded when I also go live, and then again when I do release new videos. So take care, have a good day. Once again, God bless.